All right, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, local fine art auction houses were in excess of 290 million rand across all categories in 2015. And there's been an influx of younger buyers in the fine art auction market. That's according to research conducted by auctioneer at auction house Stephan Welz Co. The published results show that contemporary artists such as Willem Boshoff, Hodgins and William Kentridge are doing extremely well on the auction market with an overwhelming interest from a much younger audience. Now, to tell us more, we're joined by the auctioneer at auction house Stephan Welz Co, Anton Welz. Anton, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Lebo. Thanks very much for having me.
Let's talk about the current period and why it's such a ripe time to invest in South African contemporary art.
I think there are a couple of reasons. I think there's been an overwhelming interest in African contemporary art from a continental perspective, and South African art obviously forms part of that. The weakness of the rand doesn't do any harm, and there's this overriding trend to look at contemporary African art. And then there are a couple of things that have added to it. You know, the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary African Art, soon to open in the waterfront here in Cape Town, is going to really establish the benchmark as a museum for contemporary African art.
And you say that there's a influx of younger buyers in the fine art auction market. Talk to us about this. Where's the shift? What happened?
I think a lot of it's to do with technology. I think people are finding routes to engaging with art via the internet. And then there are a couple of interesting different things happening. We've got First Thursdays in Cape Town, which the first Thursday of every night, a lot of the galleries now stay open till 9 o'clock, and the city centre is just alive with people. Johannesburg, you've got Maboneng, you've got Braamfontein. On a Saturday morning in Braamfontein, people go to the neighbourhood goods market, they take a walk around the galleries, so they're engaging a lot more with art than they were, I think, in over the previous 5 years.
All right, and give us specifics of the artists that people are interested in. I mean, we spoke about William Kentridge in the intro. Who else is on that list?
I think at the very top end, you've got an artist like Kentridge. So if you want to invest quite a lot of money, Kentridge is probably the benchmark to start with. But there are a lot more affordable artists, and their works are not that expensive. Samuel Hlingetwa, Hussein and the two Aesop brothers, Hussein and Hassan Aesop, in terms of photography. I think there's a category with investing in. Photography hasn't really taken off yet here as it has in Europe. So I saw Roger Baden early on an interview on the previous interview. His work, Bambo Sabia, the list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, and you had evaluations of South African artworks, you and the team, on Wednesday and Thursday. How did that go?
Yes, very, very nicely. We saw some fabulous work by Robert Hodgins. He died in 2010, but again, contemporary work, reasonably high value, and very well worth investing in.
Online bidding as well, something that came out of your research. Talk to us about that.
That's something we started probably 2 years ago with the UK-based website saleroom.com, and again, it's brought an enormous amount of interest from overseas buyers. So I think on an average auction, we'll have 10% of the works being sold to overseas buyers, and that's across the spectrum. It's not only art; it's art and all kinds of collectibles. And our next sale is on the 1st of March, and we'll probably have 100 overseas bidders registered, I should think, somewhere like that. It tends to increase every single auction.
And what are the trends? 2016, the year's just kicked off. What can we look forward to auction-wise, art sales-wise, heading into the year?
That's a how long is a piece of string story. I think the weakness of the rand has made a significant difference in what we can expect in terms of buyers' trends. I would hope that we see more international interest now, and that it encourages overseas bidders to buy, because there's really good value to be had in the South African art market. Local buyers, I should think it's also a very good place to look at buying, but one needs to buy what one likes rather than as a good investment, because if you're hanging it on the wall and you don't like it, you're going to hate the money that you've spent.
And thank you so much for talking to us. Send our condolences to the family again regarding Stephan Welz.
That's very, very kind, Libby. Thanks so much.
All right, auctioneer at Stephan Welz Co. Anton Welz speaking to us about published results of local fine art auction houses, which were in excess of 290 million rand across all categories.